Hey everybody, it's Dr. Levi and welcome to your show, The Dr. Levi Show. Today is June 20th, 2018. Beautiful day here in LA. Hope wherever you are, you're making it a great day. Why? Because you matter. Every day is a good day. Think about it. When you wake up and you can start the day off and that positiveness there of just waking up, it's a good day. It just simply means that there's more to do, greater service to be done, and more of you to share with the world. And remember, the world is waiting for you. You and your special gifts, your service, the world needs you. We need you. So just remember, you have value without validation from anyone else. You're a valuable being. The universe made only you, only one of you. How amazing is that? So I want you to feel that, believe that, and know that. We have a great show planned for you today. We're going to be talking about gamers health, and of course we'll be answering questions from gamers from all over the world, from Afghanistan, from New Zealand, from the UK, from Canada, from the US, North America, South America, Central America, from all over. So we have a lot of questions to get to today. But before I get to those, I want to go over something with you I think is very important and very applicable to life, and that is the value of meditation and mindfulness for athletes, for esports athletes as well as classically trained athletes. I want to go over the benefits and power of meditation. I think so often we wake up, and the first thing people do now, they look at their phones. Why? Because they're looking to see what just happened around the world overnight. It's the first thing. Some people that I know sleep with their phone literally right by their head. They cannot go to sleep unless they have their phone in the same room with them. So I think it's so important that we understand the value of disconnecting, because you want to disconnect from the world and reconnect to higher source. And that's so important because when you meditate and when you're in a state of mindfulness, it gives you a chance to recalibrate, to reset, to start from a place of wholeness versus a place of scattered. That's what the focus is today. How do you go to a place of mindfulness and meditation when we're bombarded every day with so much drama, with news, with catastrophes, with politics, with presidential issues, with congressional issues, with international issues? So many of these things weigh so heavily upon us. So I think it's incumbent upon us to take time every day to be still. So let's talk about mindfulness, and let's talk about meditation. Now, I'm not talking about prayer. If you think about prayer, prayer is about supplication to a higher calling, a higher force, to God, to the universe, to Buddha, to Muhammad, to Krishna, to Yogananda. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you simply being still and quiet and enjoying the power and value and beauty of your own thoughts, the power and value of stillness. I want you to really go to a place of really rendering yourself to stillness. No thoughts, no focus about what you want to do, how much money you want to make, where you want to go, where you want to travel, who is your wife, your husband, your lover, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle. No. Not thinking about anybody. Simply taking time to be still. So I want to go over 5 basic things that I think if you do these things, they will help you tremendously overall with respect to decreasing your stress, to living hopefully a happier life, and hopefully living a more healthy life, and more importantly, living the best version of yourself. So, number 1, every day when you go into bed, you really want to disconnect. So I recommend that you get off your phone, get off your computer, stop playing any games for at least 1 hour before you go to bed. Take the phone and put it in a different room, turn it off, and just tell yourself that no matter what, for the next 6 to 9 hours that you're in bed, sleeping or resting, you are not going to go back for that phone or get on any device at all. That's your phone, your iPad, your computer, your gaming console, your PC. You're not going to do that 1 hour before going to bed. Secondly, to not eat 1 hour before going to bed also. I think that's very important, not only for your metabolism, but also to let your body not be in the state of digestion, to let your body be in a state of peace, rest, and calm. Okay? So again, number one, disconnecting from the electric circuitry of the world. Number two, disconnecting from the food circuitry of the world, not eating, and specifically not eating anything that's filled with sugar and salt and white flour, dairy. Really, just maybe eating very lightly, but again, nothing 1 hour before going to bed. Now, third is to find a place in your home, and don't forget, wherever you are, that's your home. It's like going to the gym. The gym is where your body is. Your own inner sanctuary is where your mind and your body is. So I want you to find a quiet place. Hopefully it's your bedroom or maybe the living room, wherever it works for you, where you can actually sit quietly. And when you're sitting there, number four, I want you to sit with your feet firmly planted on the ground, or you can sit upright on the couch with your legs extended in front of you. The preference is to sit with your feet firmly planted on the ground with your palms either up or down. I like to have my palms up because I think that's a place of, in my mind, I think of it, universal receptivity, whereby I feel like I'm welcoming the universe, I'm welcoming God to give me whatever I'm supposed to get and receive in that moment of silence. So sitting there with my hands right on my thighs, with my palms up, eyes closed, not thinking about anything, not trying to think of a mantra like gratitude, my favorite word, or prosperity or success, other words that I love, but really just simply quieting your mind and being still. Then the fifth thing, of course, is just to sit there for 10 to 20 minutes and not move, not be distracted by the water dripping in the bathroom, by the television that you hear next door in your neighbor's place, by the car that's passing, by the sirens, by the helicopters, by the planes. No, that you're sitting there calmly still. I tell you, there is nothing like it. I can go to that place right now like that. So I really want you to consider doing that every day, at least once a day for 10 to 20 minutes. Now, if you're an athlete, this will help your performance. I can guarantee you. It'll help your performance overall because you'll be in a place of continued creativity while you're sleeping. While you're sleeping, your mind will go to that place of how can you be better? How can you be stronger? How can you game better? How can you strategize better? How can you think with greater clarity? So I think the power and benefits of meditation and mindfulness far outweigh the issue of not doing it. So you can only experience the benefits, of course, if you do it. Now, I want you to have the benefits. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to have your best life today. And every day, I want that day to get better and better and better so that you're in this evolution, this evolutionary cycle of amelioration, of being better, of being greater, of being even more perfect than you already are. I want you to go to that place. You deserve that. You really deserve that. However, mindfulness and meditation, there are ways to get you there quick, fast, in a hurry, even though it's just the antithesis. You want to go slow so that when you need to go fast, you can go super fast. You want to go slow so that when you need to think quickly about things, your mind is ready to expeditiously and rapidly think of things that you need to do. If you want to go super fast, and it's important that you go super slow and still and enjoy the thunderous silence of stillness for 15 to 20 minutes a day. It's a great thing to do. You really gift yourself with the gift of health and life and well-being if you take time to do that. Because you'll see that as you take time to meditate and to be still, everything that you need or want will show up. The people, the connections, your inner voice will talk to you. You know about decisions with respect to not going with that person, going with that person, not doing this thing, but it's better to wait and do this thing. All the doors that need to be closed will almost magically close. The ones that need to open will magically open. So mindfulness is a way, I believe, of inner attunement of self to your higher power, to higher source. God, Krishna, Muhammad, whatever works for you, Buddha, that works for you. I know it works for me. with respect to my belief in God. So I really want you to consider the beauty and power of mindfulness as an athlete, taking time every day. So, what are those 5 things again? Disconnecting from the electric circuitry of the world, disconnecting from your food sources so that you're not doing anything like eating right before you go to bed or drinking a big glass of milk or soda. No, not doing that. Third, of course, is finding a place to be still and quiet. The fourth is sitting there quietly with your back straight against a comfortable chair, with your feet flat, your palms up, or if you want your palms down, that's fine. If you want to sit with your legs crossed, that's fine. I don't do that. I like just sitting upright. Just better for me. But I want you to find a position of meditation and mindfulness that works for you. It may be very different. And then the fifth, of course, is to clear your mind without thinking about anybody or anything. Just enjoying the beauty and the integrity of stillness and being quiet. It'll revolutionize your life. Trust me on that. Will revolutionize your life as a gamer, as an athlete. It'll increase your prowess overall with respect to creativity and strategizing when you're gaming. It'll help you with respect to being prepared to do anything you need in your life. So the power of meditation, mindfulness cannot be underscored. It is just phenomenal. All right. Now, today, I want to also answer many of your questions. So I have a whole major list here of questions that are from YouTube, from all over the world. So I'll repeat the person's name because they want us to. So I'll tell you the person's name, and I'll give you the questions that we have for them. So the first was from Leah Kehoe. Keough, and the question was, do you refer to physical therapy, occupational therapy for your diagnoses? Because this most definitely falls under the OT scope of practice. Well, that's a great question, Leah. So yes, I refer many of my patients in my practice now. We actually have physiotherapy as well as acupuncture. But often, yes, I will refer patients to occupational therapy because the occupational therapists are really master healthcare professionals with respect to helping someone who has a hand and wrist issues. So often I do. OTs, I find them to be just phenomenal people, very, 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 very helpful with an extraordinary wealth of knowledge about how to take care of someone who's recovering from a flexor tendon rupture that's been repaired, or a carpal tunnel release surgery, or even major lacerations that have been repaired, or from open reduction internal fixation of a wrist fracture, or now we have plates and screws inside the wrist. Now they have to recover from that with respect to gaining better motion in their wrists and in their fingers. The the occupational therapist is just phenomenal. So yes, I do refer to OT, and sometimes I also refer to physical therapists also. I'll share this with you in my practice right now. We're actually looking for a physical therapist and or an occupational therapist. So if you know anyone, Leah, send them here to LA so I can hire them, because we definitely need someone in my practice. All right, next question is from Seedless Bananas. I still use these videos. Been slacking on my hand exercise, and my mouse hand thumb muscles been killing me. So the bottom line is this: exercise, like fitness, there are 2 things that are always very important. Excuse me, actually I'll say there are 3. The first, of course, is you have to be committed. You have to be committed to an exercise program. The second major C word is consistent. You have to be consistent. And the third is moderation. So if your hands are hurting now because, as you said, you're slacking off on doing the exercises, this is, again, from Seedless Bananas, you have to do them. Because if you're gaming every day, you have to stretch out those muscles every day. It's like me. I work out every day. I work out every day between 2 and 3 hours every day. No matter if it's rain, snow, sleet, super hot, doesn't matter. I work out every day. And I do that because I feel like I have to honor my body that way. So if I want to be fit, want to live healthy, want to minimize my risk for cardiovascular disease, for high blood pressure, for stroke, for different forms of cancer, then I have to work out. It's non-negotiable. So it's the same for you, seedless bananas. If you are having these problems with your hands, as you said you have not been doing the exercises, then do the exercises. And then the great thing about this is the following. If you do the exercises, then you have the benefits of doing the exercise. It's like a body. A body that works out looks like a body that works out. A hand that will do the exercise will be a hand that won't have pain. So do the exercises, and I hope you get better. Then let me know how you're progressing, all right? Okay, seedless bananas, that's it. The next is from colon letter P. Okay, the question is, if I already have carpal tunnel will these exercises help or hurt? I can do them, but they make my wrist sore and tiny pain when doing them. So I would say the following. Number one, if you've been diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome, it's so imperative that you talk to your local healthcare professional. Whoever diagnosed your carpal tunnel, you have to talk to them because maybe they're going to tell you some exercises to do that are different from what I talk about, what I espouse. So that's really important. So number one, and I want to share with everyone, when I give these my recommendations and or my opinions about things with respect to your health, remember, I'm your virtual doctor. I have to always make sure that I give you this disclosure that it's so important that everyone takes time to be seen by their local healthcare practitioner because I don't have the luxury and the value of examining you one-on-one. I'm only taking your questions. So in order for you to have complete, total, and appropriate care, it's so important that you also be seen by your local physicians. All right? So let him or her reevaluate you and diagnose you appropriately. All right? Because I can't give appropriate medical care to you without actually examining you and seeing you. All right? So with that said, for carpal tunnel, I always recommend that you start off with the following. Number one are the gliding exercises that I've shown before. I'll just show you here briefly again. The gliding exercises are around the world. Again, back around the world. A set of 20 one way, 20 the other way. Then slightly close your fist. Again, here around the world. Then back around the world for a set of 20. Okay, that's the basic exercise that I give to someone who comes to my office with carpal tunnel syndrome, along with wearing a splint for approximately 1 to 2 weeks, as well as wearing a splint at night when they go to sleep to prevent them from doing the following. Often when we sleep at night, our hands and wrists will do this. We'll go into this position. This is called the fetal position with our wrists and our hands. And we'll sleep on our hands or we'll sleep on our wrists in this position. So if you're wearing a splint at night, it will prevent you from doing this. It'll prevent, if you're sleeping like this in this flexed fetal position, if you're wearing a volar splint, has a metal stay inside of it, it'll prevent you from flexing your wrist downward like that, therefore hopefully mitigating the symptomatology of carpal tunnel syndrome. Because let's review this also briefly. If someone has carpal tunnel syndrome, what are they experiencing? They're experiencing the following: numbness and tingling in their thumb, index finger, middle finger, half of the ring finger, decreased grip strength, decreased dexterity in their fingers. For example, they'll have difficulty picking up pennies or difficulty picking up coins. Pain sometimes at night that will awaken them. We call that night pain, of course, as well as difficulty driving, difficulty lifting maybe a pot from one burner to the other burner on the stove because there's weakness there. So carpal tunnel is something that I see literally every day in my practice when I'm there. I see someone comes in with that every day. So those are the exercises I recommend. The gliding exercise, you can look them up online. I have them on my YouTube channel. Again, gliding, Gliding, gliding exercises. And that will give you some of the basic thoughts about exercise for carpal tunnel syndrome. All right, next question. This is from Tomato Chan, TOMATO-CHAN. For the first stretch, my right wrist feels really weird around the one bone that pops on the left side of your wrist. It feels like my bone is pushing around a vein or some tendon ligament inside, but I don't know if I should see a doctor. I've only had minor wrist pain and nothing serious when I do this stretch. It just feels a little sensitive, so I'm a bit worried. So, Tomato Chan, I recommend you definitely go to be seen by a doctor. Sounds like from this that you're having subluxation of your your radius or your ulna. It's not clear from what you're saying here. So I would recommend that, yes, that you be seen by your doctor. If you'd sent me a video and pictures, I might be able to make a better uh, estimate or even guesstimate about what's going on. But from what you're saying, I would definitely say definitely go and be seen by your local doctor so that he or she can do the following. Number one, they're like the first part of any physician's evaluation is the history and physical. Number two, they may get x-rays and or an MRI. And three, they may prescribe physical therapy or acupuncture or maybe some other form of care. So I think it's important that, yes, you get to be seen and evaluated by your local healthcare practitioner. All right? I hope that helps you, Tomato Chan. Let me know. I want to, as I continue, I want to thank all of you guys for joining me and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I think right now we have over 50,000+ subscribers, which is really fantastic. I'm really grateful. With our YouTube views, I think we're well over now 5 million views total. So I feel really grateful that it's been that I've been able to live a life of service as a physician, as an orthopedist, to really help communities from all over the world, from the gaming and esports community to people who don't game or don't play esports, who just type or text or blog a lot, who are having problems with their hands. So I'm really grateful that the videos that are part of my overall YouTube catalog have that they've been very helpful. So I just want to thank everyone for their positive feedback also. So I'm very, very grateful. All right, so I hope that helps you, Tomato Chan. Next one is from Knight Prater, and that's KNIGHT PRAETOR. So it's, may I ask a question? Why is it okay for a gamer to rest his elbow on the armrest while pivoting his arm left and right to the arm aim, but it's not good to rest your wrist on the outer joint when you're rotating the wrist for wrist aim? Isn't having your elbow on the armrest going to pinch the joint and nerves? Also, there is a difference between resting the elbow down with your arms tucked in at your sides and resting the elbow on its side when the arms are out more. Okay, so it's a very good question. So let's talk about that. So when someone's resting their elbow on the arm pad, one thing that if you look at some of the ergonomic things that I've shown online is that you're really resting right above the elbow. There's not direct pressure on the elbow. It's like right before the elbow, or we should say slightly distal to the elbow in this area and not directly here. So that is a way, if your arm is resting in this area here, this is the cubital tunnel. And if you rest your arm here, if you just tap right here, you'll feel numbness and tingling, feeling like electricity in your small finger and half of your ring finger. Why? Because this is the cubital tunnel. There's the ulnar nerve that comes through here, and the ulnar nerve supplies your small finger and half of your ring finger. All right, so that's why we don't rest our elbows directly in that area of the armrest. Now, as far as resting the wrist, if you rest the wrist a lot, then yes, you can impinge two things: the median nerve in this area, as well as the ulnar nerve right here at the wrist as it goes down to Guillen's canal. This Guyon', Guillen's canal. So you want to minimize any type of constant pressure on this area also. So that's the reason why. So I hope that helps you. All right. Okay, Knight Prater. Next one is from Cagatron, Cagatron. Thank you for these videos. As an avid gamer and wanting to be streamer, I obviously play games a ton, and today my wrist started hurting. And it never happened before, of course. I go to the net and see carpal tunnel, and obviously knowing what it can do. I felt sick to my stomach and got off and laid down. And now there I am on your channel feeling relieved. I'm going to start doing hourly exercises and stretches to help out my hands and arms. Just want to say thank you. Well, Cagatron, thanks a lot. I'm glad the exercises are helping you, and I'm glad they're going to hopefully extend your career. And good luck, if you want to be a streamer. I'm sure you do really, really well. Just be consistent. And make sure you do the exercises daily and the stretches daily. Especially an avid daily gamer, you have to do the exercises with the same type of eagerness. It's really, really important. Okay, the next question is from CCC. So triple C. C cubed, I guess. It says, thank you for this video. I've injured my wrist, just moved a musician, and my hand is in pain. I had what looked like a little bone on my wrist. Then one morning I woke up in agony. Was having a hard time picking up anything, including a sheet. Doc said sesamoid. Other docs said tendonitis. It's kind of scary. Been this way over a month. Any help would be appreciated. Okay. Well, I thank you for the question, but I just need so much more information about your wrist. Is it the dorsum of your wrist, i.e., the back of your wrist, or the volar aspect of your wrist that's hurting? Um, it's not clear where the issue is for you. And also, as a musician, which type of musician are you? Are you a pianist, a flautist, a guitarist? All that will help me to give you some insight. So, CCCC, I'd like you to contact my office. You can call my office at 818-240-8001, or you can email me, or you can send something via Facebook or even YouTube, and I'll get the question. I'll answer this. But right now, it's not clear. But I will say this: often with musicians, tendonitis is very, very common. In my practice, I say of all the musicians I take care of, tendonitis is one of the most common things I see. Second to I'd say second to cubital tunnel syndrome and carpal tunnel syndrome. But tendonitis is very, very common. So, but let me know more about your wrist, where the pain is. Maybe send me a little video, or you point out where you have pain, or a video of you playing an instrument, so I can tell you more about that. And I'm going to be doing some videos soon, specifically for each type of musician. One for piano players, one for clarinet players, one for flautists, one for drummer. That I'm working on. It's taking so much time lately because I have some other media things that we're getting ready to roll out. So that's what's going on. All right. So I hope that helps you, CCC. The next one is from Z Fumes. Z and then Fumes. Hey, Dr. Levi, I love the vids. I've been having this problem where my thumb will get cramped up and lock onto my hands when trying to grip certain things. Could this have to do with carpal tunnel syndrome? So, great question, Z Fumes. Well, it could be that carpal tunnel syndrome, but it could be just some mild tendonitis that you have in your thumb from using a mouse, for example. If you're right-handed, I'm assuming that you are, which is not the best assumption, but I'm going to say that you are. If you're using a mouse and using your thumb a lot for the mouse, if you're clicking while gaming, um, you may have a mild form of carpal tunnel. That's true, or you may have something called flexor tenosynovitis or stenosine tenosynovitis of the thumb. Both of these, one is really more of an emergency where you really need help immediately because that often signals an infection, flexor tenosynovitis. The other is what you have, which sounds like stenosine tenosynovitis. Let me spell that for you. Stenosine, Stenosing. Tenosynovitis is Tenosynovitis. All right. So if you're having stenosing tenosynovitis, that can be locking of your thumb that can cause this type of pain. And for that, we treat that with physical therapy and/or a steroid injection with a little bit of Marcaine there or lidocaine. And then thirdly, if those things don't work, I often try a little bit of acupuncture. And if the acupuncture doesn't work, the next thing for that, of course, would be surgery, where we do a A1 pulley release of your thumb. But hopefully you won't need any of that. Hopefully it's just maybe some mild carpal tunnel syndrome that will resolve with rest. Talk to your local physician about a protocol of resting your hand in a splint for 1 to 2 weeks, especially you wear this at night. Secondly, maybe a round of anti-inflammatory medication. And then thirdly, of course, to decrease your gaming by 50%. To not completely stop, but decrease by 50%. And then lastly, if none of those things would work, then you may be an injection, maybe a candidate for an injection, either for your carpal tunnel or for your stenosing tenosynovitis for your thumb. All right? So I hope that helps you, Z Fumes. Let me know how you're progressing. The next one is from James Watts. I have a lovely case of bursitis in my left shoulder. I kind of lean on it, keep my mouse arm free from weight. These hurt but feeling amazing at the same time. Are there any additions that you would recommend for me? Yeah, so for bursitis of the shoulder, the most important thing initially really is to rest the shoulder, and you can do some really low forms of exercise. And when I say low form, these are meaning I mean that as non-impact type of exercise and stretches that you can do. So what I would do, you can number one, rest. Number two, for bursitis, you can definitely consider taking the anti-inflammatory medication if you get that approved by your doctor. And then thirdly, of course, to minimize some of your gaming right now over the next week or so. And then fourth, if none of these things are really helping you, along with the stretches that your physical therapist may give you specifically for your shoulder where your bursitis is located, then your doctor, he or she, may recommend an injection with a steroid like Depomedrol or Kenalog or cortisone, something like that, to minimize the inflammation and pain that you have. All right. Okay, so James Watts, I hope that helps you. So again, you want to get the exercise program from your physical therapist or healthcare provider, the anti-inflammatory medication if that's approved by your doctor, and then you want to be consistent with doing your exercises at home. And then fourth, if those things all fail, then you'd be a candidate for possible injection to your shoulder. And if that doesn't work, then we'll have to talk about things a little more drastic, which usually doesn't happen. Usually one of those 4 or 5 modalities will definitely help you, all right, along with the rest. All right, next question. Oh, almost there, guys. Just a few more to go. It's from Anthony A. I've been heavily gaming since 12, and now I'm 19. Rarely exercise. Thankfully, I lost weight. Used to be 280, but then down to 210 by 15 years of age. Still not good, but not too bad either, I guess. I noticed that around 16 years ago, if I worked out too much, especially apparent in legs, I'll start to not be able to bend my knees to achieve a slightly crouched position. Like that slightly crouched position in GTA 5. I mean, I'll be able to do it, but my legs will shake like crazy, tremor like, as if it's saying we've had enough. We're too weak. We can't even hold up our own weight in this position easily anymore. Does this mean I effed up and left my muscles wasting too much? Will I be able to fix it by working out regularly, especially on legs, thighs area? Have you ever had a case like this? Laugh out loud. I feel like muscle atrophy happened, Matrix Neo style. I hope I'm screwed up. I, 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 I hope I'm not screwed up. It says actually. I hope I'm not screwed up. I hope I can regain my muscle strength back. Period. So let's talk about this. So if you're having issue with your legs, the number one thing with that is I recommend that you do stretches before you work out and after you work out. So stretch your quadriceps, your hamstrings. If you have my book, I have my book is The Art of Fitness: A Journey to Self Enhancement. That book has multiple exercises there for stretching out your hamstrings, your quadriceps. We'll put a screenshot of the book on for you so you see it. Again, the book is titled The Art of Fitness: A Journey to Self Enhancement. And if you get the book will show you everything. I'm not trying to do a hard sell on the book because the book continues to sell, but I want you to know that it's a book that's really like your personal trainer. It'll really help you to attain a superior level of fitness that'll be maintained just for you and your body. It's like having your own personal trainer with you. It's a really, really exhaustive. It's an encyclopedic, in-depth, deep dive on the power of different forms of exercise. So it'll help you. So stretching is very, very important. So I think if you do the stretches before and after your workout, and even stretch during your workout, I think you may be surprised at the benefit. All right? Next question is from Tala Emir Demirgan, and that's Talha, middle name Emir, last name Demirgan. What do you recommend for a ganglion cyst on the wrist, Dr. Levi? So let's talk about that. So ganglion cysts, no one knows exactly why some people get those. Sometimes we think it's attributable to trauma, and sometimes they just come and go with no rhyme or reason. You know, one day someone may have a large ganglion cyst here, and then they'll come in to see me and say, "Well, doctor, I wish we had seen each other sooner because now it's gone away." And then they'll come back later. So ganglion cysts are really odd. They're like these things that they're benign, but they come and go. So the first thing I always recommend, if you have a mass on your hand, number one, go and be seen by your doctor because it may look like a ganglion cyst, but it may not be. It may be something like a giant cell tumor of the tendon sheath, or maybe some other form of mass, or maybe it's a malignant cancer even. We don't know. So the MRI is critical. Now, once the MRI is done, it'll show, for example, that there's a stalk of material coming from the scapholunate ligament in this outpocketing, which from that stalk pedunculated area is a mass, which we call a ganglion cyst if it's filled with, hyaluronic acid, basically, joint fluid. So what we do for those are the following. Previously, people would put a needle in there and try to aspirate them, like suck out the stuff that's there. What I found in my practice is that, and I don't do that. I've never done the needle aspiration for those in my practice privately. In residency and fellowship, they would make you do it, but I never, in my mind, I never wanted to do it because I never really agreed with it at all. But I knew it was part of the teaching protocol. And many of the books say that, yes, it's okay to do that, but I don't. So what I do is after I get the MRI, then we do one or two things. Either we schedule them for surgery, or I schedule them for a follow-up every 6 to 9 months just to take a look at it and see if it's getting more painful, if it's growing. And I also ask them, I remind them to, that if they're starting to lose weight, have fevers, night sweats, anything like that, we need to know about that because it may look like a ganglion cyst, but before the MRI is done, it may not. After the MRI is done, we need to look at that. All right, so ganglion cysts, I take them out. I excise them. I send them for pathology and culture, but I take them out as a excisional mass biopsy. I think it's better to take them out. Now, the key is if it's on the dorsum of your hand or the dorsum of your wrist or the volar aspect of your wrist, the surgery usually for those takes about 15 or 20 minutes. It's very, very quick, but I think that's the definitive way to take them out. Now, when I say definitive, I have to add the caveat that with some ganglion cysts, you're not going to believe this, you can take them out, and even though you take them out, they will come back. And sometimes they come back with a vengeance. Sometimes they never come back. Sometimes they'll come back and they'll be smaller. So you never really know a ganglion cyst. They're very intriguing types of pathology. All right, next question is from Afjal, A-F, capital J, small a, and then L, Afjal. So the question is, my little pinky hurts when I use a keyboard. I'm new to playing on PC, and I see that everyone uses the left shift key for sprint, but whenever I use it, I can barely take the pain for 30 minutes tops. Is it natural for me to experience this as a new PC gamer? Well, I tell you, pain is never a quote unquote a natural thing for gaming. You don't want to be playing video games and have pain, or even any sport. You don't want to have pain. So if you're having pain in your small finger, I recommend the following. One, make sure that you're not hitting the keyboard really hard when you're tapping the keyboard, especially the bar key. To not really tap that hard when you're doing it. Secondly, you can do the stretches for the fingers. These I've shown before. In and out with the small finger, up and down with the small finger, around the world, back around the world. All those for a set of 20 apiece, making a piano, open piano, piano, open piano, piano, open piano, in and out with the fingers like this. All right, in and out with the small finger like that. Up and down with the small finger, around the world, the small finger, back around the world. Those are the exercises I recommend. And then overall, make sure that your fitness and well-being program is intact, and then make sure that you're doing your mindfulness and meditation exercises. So if it's hurting, I definitely recommend that you do those exercises. And you may want to look at the mouse that you're using. You may need to get a different mouse that's more ergonomically balanced. That may help you also. And then it's important that the ergonomics of your PlayStation area, what I call the gaming arena, that's properly set with respect to the height of the desk, the length of distance of the monitor from your face to seeing the monitor, that your knees are at 90 degrees when you're gaming, that your elbows are at approximately 90 degrees. All these things, that your back is straight, your shoulders are square. All these things are important when you're gaming because you want to maintain the most ergonomically balanced position as possible to mitigate any issues of back pain, neck pain, leg pain, foot pain, wrist pain, elbow or shoulder pain. All right, so that's why it's important. So left small finger pain should not be discounted. Again, I want you to do the exercises, do the stretches before and after, and even while you're gaming, and make sure you go and be seen by your local healthcare physician because he or she may want to examine you at the elbow to see if you're having, if they tap here and see you have a positive Tinel sign or you have a positive elbow flexion test with numbness and tingling in your small finger and ring finger, half of your ring finger, then you may also have cubital tunnel syndrome. And then you can also have some of these symptoms of small finger weakness if you have impingement of the ulnar nerve at Guillen's canal. So that may cause a problem. Or if you have a small cyst or a little mass inside your hand, that can cause the same type of numbness and tingling in your small finger or pain or weakness in your small finger. So with that said, I hope everybody got their answers. You know, I appreciate you all. I want to just do one quick recap. Remember to take time to be mindful. Mindfulness and meditation should be a part of your daily life for 10 to 20 minutes once a day. I try to meditate at least twice a day when I can because it gives me such thorough clarity. When I was coming here today, I took some time to really be still, and it just lets me be prepared and ready to say and do all the right things in a very organic and in a very authentic manner because you want to live your best authentic life, all right? That's really, really important. As a gamer, as a non-gamer, but guess what? As a person, your best authentic life. Now, with that said, mindfulness we talked about and meditation. I answered your questions. You know, I asked you to please join me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be a part of my YouTube community of gamers and non-gamers and esports athletes and other classically trained athletes. You know, I look forward to the day when we say that gaming and esports are classically trained athletes. I look forward to that day. That'll be just amazing. I look forward to the day when esports and gaming sports are really a part of the Olympics. You know, it'll be just amazing to show how we're evolving to acceptance of esports and gaming athletes. That's important to me. So, with that said, be kind to everyone, especially to the veterans. Those women and men are our true heroes. I have such respect for them. And the next time I'm here, I'm going to tell you about a story about a veteran that I recently met that I thought was very heartwarming and very inspiring for me, what he shared with me. So I'll tell you guys about that next time. So I appreciate you very much. Join me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. And again, tonight, not Twitter, but Twitch TV tonight at 7 o'clock. So I hope you join me for that, too. We'll be sending out some memos about that today on all our social media platforms. I really appreciate you. It's Dr. Levi with your show, The Dr. Levi Show. And I'll see you here not next week. I think I'm back. I'm not sure when we're back. I think it's in July, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll keep you abreast of everything. All right? Take care. It's Dr. Levi. Have a great day. Be kind. And remember, the world is waiting. The world is waiting. That was a tongue twister. The world is waiting for your best you. Whatever you have to offer, the world is waiting for you. Have a great day. This is Dr. Levi. Be kind to everyone. Bye.